Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And yes, I did it back the right way. I thought I would boot it on that last one there as I came up with something different. On this September the 17th, Saturday, September the 17th, and we're about a week away from the big event. I don't know if all you know this, but on September the 24th is National Hunting and Fishing Day. That's coming up, and I didn't realize that started in 1971, and the system now generates more than $1 billion per year and benefits all who appreciate it. That's next Saturday, and we'll probably talk about that on next week's show. And this being the third Saturday, Frank Barton is in studio. I brought him a couple of prizes there. I always try to throw something out there to Frank because I figured he might need them, including one of the new Mallard duck calls from our good friends at Sure Shot Game Calls. Charlie Holder down there, a wonderful guy, has kept that company going in the Yetson. Is that right?
Jensen,
yeah, and he's kind of picked the legend up with the Sure Shot Game Calls. But good morning.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much, Larry. I'm kind of like duck calls like you are about flashlights.
Yeah, I like flashlights, too.
I always have another duck call
Well,
somewhere.
I got a new toy came in the mail this week. You can't say it came in the mail. They didn't put it in the mailbox. But it's a new crossbow that I'm going to give a try this year, and we're going to do a lot on archery because it's getting ready to crank up, as Heath Wood just said from Hunter Specialties on the show, on the segment right before. The Missouri season actually is opened. Our Tennessee season, if I'm not mistaken, will open next Saturday, I think, but I'm doing some scouting next week. And we're going to talk right now a little archery. We're going to talk a little deer processing. We might throw that in a little bit because we have a new sponsor on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I had a chance to meet Cade Hawkins at the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing Extravaganza. They did a great job right next door, as I tried to do the seminars. They were over at Clankin trying to hit this little center spot and everything. Good morning, Cade.
Good morning, Larry.
Oh, you got a radio voice. He'll fit in, won't he, Frank? You hear that?
Sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah, that's Frank's got the best radio voice. His is a lot better than mine. So if we challenge, but you're doing good. Tell our listeners out there, Cade, a little about DOA.
Well, we're a Matthews and Mission retailer located in Hernando, Mississippi, kind of on the north end of town off 51. We do a lot of service work on all types of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We work on everything. Crossbows, compound bows. We're not a traditional shop. We don't do a whole lot of recurves and longbow stuff, but we can service that a little bit. We sell Matthews and Mission archery equipment, new equipment.
Yeah.
And well, that's kind of what we do. We do deer processing also.
You do deer processing, yeah. And you guys have been in business how long?
We're going into our fourth year.
Fourth year. So tell our listeners why you do this. How'd you get into this?
Started shooting a bow in 1988.
Oh, my goodness. What were you, 5?
Just a little bit older than that. I had a passion for it. About 10 or 12 years ago, I went pretty much 100% archery only in my hunting. And the passion kind of grew to a business. And there was a need for it in North Mississippi, the Mid-South area. Mm-hmm. And it's just grown from there.
Now, so your background, you're from where?
I'm from Hernando.
You're from Hernando, okay. And grew up in Hernando?
Grew up in the DeSoto County area.
Okay. Went to high school where?
At Hernando High School.
Hernando High School. So you do what else do you do?
I do a lot of things. I spent 13 years at South Haven Fire Department.
I knew you. Yeah.
I currently do some estimating for a local construction company.
Okay, but you were a fireman for 13 years.
Yes, sir.
And that's an important job. After what we had this week with the fire in South Memphis, tragic situation with those kids and the family and everything. But he's now doing what his passion is, and that's and to come up with the name DOA. That's a cool name, buddy.
It kind of evolved, and when we jotted all of it out on the paper, kind of brainstorming, it started out as DeSoto Archery.
Yeah, DA.
And then it kind of became Desoto Outdoors, and kind
D.O.
of blended the two together, and then the acronym was there, and that just fit. It just made it all come
DOA
together.
sounds better than DO. That's do.
Absolutely.
And it sounds better than DA because they think you're in the law enforcement or something, you know.
Right.
So you come up with DOA. And at this time of the year, this is get ready time, isn't it, for archery?
Absolutely. We're very busy right now. If you want to get your bow worked on, get it in the shop, before a couple of days before season opens.
Yeah, and you have you can shoot in your place.
Yes, sir. We have a 20-yard range. We can accommodate 5 to 6 shooters at a time.
Okay.
And we encourage people to come shoot. If it's hot outside, you don't want to spend time outside shooting.
Oh, you got air conditioning.
Come down.
The
to
windows
our
aren't
place
up.
and,
Okay.
We'll turn the air on and get after it.
As I told him, I got a crossbow and I'm going to give it a try, see how it works. And even though it's not a Matthews, I'm going to go down there next week and meet with Cade and see what I can do to get ready for some of this kind of things. What are you looking for season wise? Your area. What are you hearing?
A lot of deer.
A lot of deer.
A lot of deer. Guys are getting some good pictures right now on mineral licks, and
I'm seeing them. Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a good year for Mississippi.
All right. Have you been a successful hunter, Cade?
I've had some success over the years.
You got any deer mounted?
One or two.
One or two. Okay. So what's the biggest deer you killed?
I was fortunate to take a 174.
Yeah, that's very fortunate. You folks out there, you don't know what that is. I got a 130, and I'm proud of it. So
that's my best deer so far.
Wow.
And it was taken with archery equipment, so I'm pretty proud of that accomplishment. It took a lot of years to do it, though.
It did?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how'd you get into archery? Somebody tell you? Yeah, I mean, did you, a buddy or something?
No, I had a passion for hunting, and it kind of made sense. It gave me another month and a half to be in the woods.
Yeah,
and, there was a small archery shop on Pleasant Hill Road, and I bought my first bow from Mr. Eddie Van's store.
Yes,
a lot of the older archers know him.
Oh, yeah.
In 1988.
And it just started.
It just kind of took off from there.
Wow. What do you tell people about if they want to get into archery? What do they need? The equipment? I mean, it's changed so much now.
Absolutely.
So what advice do you give? Somebody wants to come to your store and they want to get into archery.
I think the biggest thing for us is I tell people all the time, they come in and they say, I want to get into bow hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I think you start with a budget.
Yeah, that's for sure.
There's no sense in spending time.
You can spend a lot of money.
Yeah. You can spend all you want to spend on equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But set a budget, be certain in what your end goal is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just wanting to try it out, you love to hunt, but you don't know if you want to archery hunt.
Yeah.
Then set your budget, come in and get equipment that fits you first and foremost.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about on this when I come down there, because it came in a box, and so I don't know exactly what it is, but and I haven't shot crossbow, so I'm hoping that it's not too heavy. I've heard so many things about, well, they're too heavy, they're too hard to cock, and all these different kind of things. But I know Matthews has some great crossbows too.
Absolutely.
And that is getting to be a more popular thing.
I think we opened in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first year that anybody could hunt with a crossbow in Mississippi, and it's grown tremendously from there. You have older fellas that have don't have the physical.
Amen. Okay. Why are you looking at me when you're saying that?
Well,
okay. I am the
I'm
most.
looking in your general
Okay.
direction.
All right.
They've still have the desire to go, but physically couldn't pull a compound bow anymore. And a crossbow let them get back in the woods.
It does.
I've seen a lot of guys sell or trade in their compound bow for a crossbow that allowed them to take their family hunting. And so
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, yeah.
Dad, mom, one or two kids are sitting in a ground blind. Everybody can shoot the bow. So that put the whole family in the woods where it was just dad before.
Well, I like the fact I've got a cranking device, because I've heard horror stories of trying to put your feet down there and pull that baby back, So and I've got drawn for a hunt at Wolf River at WMA in November, but that's a gun hunt. Of course, I always fail trying to get President's Island down here. I must be on the priority list. I've got to be. I mean, how many times can you be rejected? So
at least one more, right?
at least one more. I hope next year. We'll find out next year whether. Again, we're talking to Cade Hawkins of DOA, which is Desoto Outdoor and Archery, and you also do deer processing.
Yes, sir.
You did how many deer last year?
A bunch.
A bunch.
People ask me all the time how many I want to do, and I guess being a businessman, I want to do all of them.
You want to do all of them, don't you?
Whatever comes in our door, we want to do it and do a good job at it.
Well, I mean, that is a occupation that you got to want to do. Was that something you threw in on the side? Had you always done your own, or what? How'd you get that?
I had always kind of done, my own thing. Hunting clubs that I were involved in, we had equipment, and we all kind of got together and did it ourselves and tinkered with recipes and found things that we liked and kind of made the end product something that was usable for our families. And when started putting the business plan together, archery is very seasonal.
It is, yeah.
And, had to find something else to do to make it all come together.
That'll work.
And deer processing is it's good for our business, and it's more of a word of mouth type business.
Yeah.
And so we work real hard to satisfy the customers we have and kind of grow our customer base from that.
You got jerky and everything.
We tried jerky last year.
Yeah.
Probably
not
going to do it this year. Do it just by request.
You ate it all. Well, I like request.
Our employees.
Your employees. That's what it is. You feed the.
They like to try it. We got to taste it and make sure it's good.
Well, tell them again where you're located.
We're about a mile and a half south of Pleasant Hill Road, off of 51, between 51 and 55.
All right, folks, and we're gonna have all this posted on lroutdoors.com, our website, and we'll be glad to have DOA as part of the Outdoors of Larry Ray team. Appreciate you coming on. As Mr. Barton will explain, he's been on this a few years, and we want to utilize you either by phone or whatever it might be. Your store hours are what?
We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6.
11 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday. And I'm going to drop down there next week and visit with Cade and see what he's got going on. But we will be talking to you, buddy. Thank you. Glad to have you.
I appreciate you having me.
Glad to have you on the team. Let's take a break right now and come back. And the one and only Ron Wong has slipped into the room. He's quietly slipped into the room, and we're glad to have Ron because he's going to interpret the next guy. It's back to Mississippi again. We're going to talk a little bit about a big event coming to Grenada Lake, and Ron knows that's going to be crappie fishing. So we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.